Hey guys, welcome back to another stream and another video. Part 2 of building our Freedom Gundam. Freedom! Yeah, I don't think you'd do that in the show, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Speaking of freedom, this is the build we're doing. This is the Master Grade Freedom by Bandai from the series Gundam Seed Destiny. Yes. Now, I had originally intended to upload or add into my video on YouTube a little 2-minute clip from the actual series where they basically introduce this Gundam, and YouTube didn't like that very much. They called it copyright infringement for a 2-minute clip from that show. So I had to cut it out. So I am going to try again. I decided to clip a bunch of little sections out of it. So reduced it down to like maybe 30 seconds. And we'll see. I'll try to put it in like right about here, right? Here. That good? Yeah? Did it work? Did I get it in there? I don't know. We'll see when I upload my video to YouTube. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we are still building this thing. I'm going to move some things out of the way so I get my coffee out of the way. And here we are. This is it, guys. Now, you may notice something different from part 1. He has an arm on him. Yeah, I went ahead and I built the arm. And I also built a leg. But the good news is, there's another one of each to build, and you're going to get to see me build those. But I wanted to get these done so that any surprises that come along with them, I'll be prepared. You know what I mean? But yeah, so here we are. This is what we did last time, and he looks pretty good so far. And yeah, so we're going to continue. What are we continuing? The next step, I believe, is building the waist unit. We have to go on to the next step. I want to build, well actually the next step, they want to build the arm, but I already built an arm, so I want to do the waist so I can actually put this thing together a little bit. So I want to do the waist unit first, and so that's what I want to do today. And get this, give him a waist. Now, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot to it, only need 3 runners. 2 big redwood trees crushing. That's right, yes. That's right. So I need A, I, and J. A, I, and J. So I need to take 10 and 4 and put these together. So 10 goes like this, 4 goes like this, and they go together. So my nubs tend to fly away on me when I'm building these things. Now, I don't know why. These go in a certain way. I must have, some of the parts in the ST are so small I can barely hold them to sand or file to try to get the nubs off. I had to use a flashlight to find. Yes, I responded to your comment on my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure when it comes time that I'm going to move and I move my desk out of here, I'm probably going to find half a dozen parts that I have just completely lost to the abyss under my desk here. That there's just like they fall and they're gone. They just disappear. It's yeah. I've literally had parts fall, and I've watched it fall off the desk, and I go to get it, and it's gone. I had two of them in one day. I had two parts do that. They just completely disappeared. And I pulled everything out, and I looked all around. I got my nice little bright flashlight here for just such a purpose, right? That's nice and bright. For looking for stuff, and they're gone. They are just gone, right? It sucks. But that's just the way it is. I-19 is next. I-19, this big guy right here. I would say if you just want to prime the AT-ST, the only thing you're going to want to do is not lay the paint on super thick. The only issues you're going to run into is if you lay that paint on really thick, when you go to assemble it, it's going to be difficult to put together. You're going to find something like this. If I painted this and I've got the paint on super thick, this piece here is going to be a lot thicker, and then when I go to actually put this on, it's going to be extremely tight, which of course it's Bandai, it's already tight, but you're going to find that is going to be a pain in the ass to actually assemble because I've got a layer of thick paint on there. So what I would do, because primer doesn't have to be laid down super thick anyway, I would do maybe only one coat of primer. You could do 2 light coats to make sure you've got everything covered. But then what happens is, if you do have a situation where you've just got it on too thick, and that is going to be an issue, you can just take either take a knife, or you could take maybe a sanding stick, okay, to that little part. Let's just pretend it's this little thing here, and I've got something that needs to go on here, but this is too thick and it doesn't want to go. You could take a knife and just kind of scrape the paint off like this, just on that little area, just to get some of that paint off there and get it back down to its original size. Or you could take a sanding stick and just kind of go like that to that area and do that same thing and just kind of go across it until that paint is removed. Just doing this, right, and going around it. That's what I would do. But for the most part, as long as you don't lay a super thick layer of paint on there, you shouldn't really have too much of an issue. Now, Bandai kits, they fit tight to begin with, so you want to be careful. Another thing is, watch other people build that particular kit that you're working on, and I bet you'll find a lot of guys, especially the airbrushers, they put the whole thing together and then they prime it. They'll sit there with the thing as freaking complete, only taking a few parts off, and they'll prime the whole thing, all just fully assembled. I don't like doing that because there's just little areas you can't get in.
Thousands of tears later.
Maybe I have it backwards. Maybe I don't. Looks like, Yeah, it looks like it just goes like that. Okay, and then this one does the same. What's next here? Number 2. We need the other half of this is going to be I-18. That's this guy here. And doink. All I did was just rotate it to get it off of there, because this is kind of a rubbery, it's sort of rubbery. That's one thing this kit does not have, is the rubber parts. Okay, so they want this in two different directions. If we're looking at this, they want this one with the flat spot facing out. Like that. I guess they want it, yeah, they just want the flat spot facing out, just like that. For a second there, my first look at this, I thought this one they wanted it down, and that didn't make sense. But anyway, do that first, then put these two together. Snap. It's always a... Next we need I-12 and I-17. Let's see. And we want this facing with all of our little divot things facing down. And doesn't matter which is the front or the side, it doesn't look like it. They just got to go down. Goes in the top there. Like that. Okay. And then this goes down over top. And this is going to be like this. Hopefully sandwiches everything together. There we go. Sandwiches it all together so it won't come apart. Yay! There we go. So now we're on the A tree. Going to the A tree. And there you go. Now they're both the same on both sides. There you go. So with that done, let's put these two together. We have it sitting like this, and we want that like that. Goes like that. Alright. And then this goes on the front. Like that. And there's his jock. Okay. Now, J12. And of course, if you get to a point where you want to do customizing on your kit and actually painting your Gundams different colors, you know, you can see guys, they'll take one of these kits like this and they'll paint the whole thing a completely different color. In that regard, you don't really have to clean up your nub marks that much because everything is getting painted, right? And nothing is going to be seen. So these guys, they go in here. Are you going to snap in there? No, it's just a tight press fit. No snapping. I guess these are going to be for the skirts. That's my guess. And that will finish this page. Moving on. Just a little bit more to go. And then of course those kits that really throw you a curve, and namely Revell kits, and force you to break out your freaking putty and fill in gaps and stuff like that. And then you buy a Tamiya kit and you don't even need the putty for it at all because everything fits together. It's like, wow, why did I ever buy Revell? So, A9, that's next. A9, of course, is going to be one of the covers. So, again, turning my nippers around so I'm not right against there. So this is now going to go onto the back of this guy. And so how do we do that? We're going to turn this around, moving that ball out there like that, and then it's all going to line up, just like that. So that's one. We're going to have to do another one. So that's going to be I-22, and the instructions, just the way they were pointing at how it goes together, I couldn't get it to line up, and it wasn't working properly for me. And well, I decided, well, I'm going to have to go on YouTube and watch a video and get it figured out because this is not working. Well, I went on YouTube. And well, if you watch other YouTube videos of Gundam kits and people building them, they don't really show you this whole process of just how I exactly put that together, right? They show you see so many videos of them snipping them off of the runners, clip, 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 and then cleaning them up, and then boom, it's assembled, and you don't see any of the problems they had trying to get it together. And I had to try watching like 4 or 5 different videos of watching the Strike Rouge, and I think it was the Strike Freedom has the same chest and whole cockpit layout, before I could find a video where somebody actually shows it goes together like this, right? So, well, that's what I did in my very next video, was show exactly how that goes together, right? Because if I can help someone figure that out, then I'm going to. Okay, so this, I imagine, is supposed to go one particular way, but it looks like it's the same either way. So, I'm just going to snap into here, right? Yes. That. And then this is going to go into here. Like so. Okay. That's pretty cool. They actually have the model designation ZGMF-X10A scribed into there. That's pretty cool. And so then this is going to go in here somewhere. Looks like it's going on the back, which technically could be the front. I don't know. It snaps into here. There we go. I forgot to put these guys on. These guys go in here. These little ball sockets go on here. Just like that. Okay. And so we've got some movement there. So this side. Especially like you might encounter them on like on the inside of an intake or something like that. But I have never really bothered with them that much. So there we go. There's our waste unit. Not like garbage or toilet, but that's the waste unit. And that's it. So, let's take a leg. Take a leg. My leg's going to go in here. Just like that. Let's see how cooperative it is. That's really getting a lot of movement in there. Let's try and snap this on. And we're on. Just like that. And cover up his groin. There you go. Alright, so I can continue on and go with the leg, but I'll do the arm. Okay, for his arm I need A, B, G, I, J. A, B, G, I, J. L, M, N, O, P. Got some nubs stuck in between the pages. I can feel them. Okay, so I've already done this because that was for the other arm, so I need to build this. Okay, so I'm going to start with I and J. Okay, so we're going to take this. We want this facing like this. Take this piece, and it goes facing up like, how does this go again? Trying to remember from 2 days ago exactly how it goes. Let's go together like that, okay, and then this sandwiches them together, okay, and then this piece just goes and it sits on here, okay. Now we have this piece done. Where does this go? Do we see it? Can you identify it on this arm? It happens to be the elbow. It's the inner elbow, and the only part of it you ever see is just that. And that's all you see. And that's why I don't bother cleaning up all these nub marks, because you don't see it. They all get covered. And again, that's tantamount to Bandai's engineering on how they make these kits. Is they make them in such a way that a good 80 to 90% of the nub marks you see on the dark gray parts are hidden. So we have that together. Now we're going to need J17. So I think I've got enough time. I should be able to get this arm finished and then call it a day. Now, this guy goes into the top like this. If I could get that in there. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Now, this, and then we're going to put them together. So facing this direction. How did it go again? I think it goes like this. There we go. There's that. So this is part of his elbow, right? Okay. Let's see here. So we need B5 and 6. Okay. So now that I've taken some parts off that I don't need yet, I just took them off so that I'm ready. Did I get J16? No, it doesn't look like it. But I need J16 and also B3. So B3. See, I knew I should have just taken this off. This looks good. Alright, so we're going to take the shoulder piece and we're going to throw in this piece. And then put this half together. And then take this piece and put it on the end. And this is a tight fit. It was on the other side too. It really holds his shoulder together. Just like that. Okay. There. Now we take this and we put it aside because we're going to move on to different pieces. B1 and J24. My next build, after this is done, I'm going to be building a tank. The German Flak Panzer. It's a tank that I have wanted to build. Well, when I was a kid, I wanted the Tamiya 1/16 remote controlled, the RC version of it. My dad would never buy it for me. 9 and 10. I thought I might need those. So it's kind of nostalgic to see the 1/35 scale Flak Panzer model kit in the store, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna build one of those. I always wanted one when I was a kid, but like this. Okay, and then we take this guy and oops, we gotta actually do that first. It's apart. This guy goes in this. Okay. Now this guy goes on. Okay. And then this half goes on this side. And there we go. Okay? And we put this aside for a minute. And we take B2 and J25. And this is B2. So there's this kind of wrist part. There's a few nubs here that need to go in the garbage. Moving on down, we don't need this, we're doing this side. This is where we're going to get into his hands. Okay, so we need A12. Alright. Okay, so there's that piece. Now, where am I here? I need I-24. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put his thumb in. So his thumb goes into this little socket here. And all it does is just kind of press in like that. And then you put this into this. You just line up that hole. And it will keep his thumb from ever popping out. It will always stay in there. Now, and now we take his fingers and put them in his palm. Just like that. And so now we have a hand. Right? Just like that. And so we're going to take his arm and we're going to grab this piece and have it facing up like this, and this faces up because this little slot goes into there, and it goes on like that. Okay, and then we take his shoulder, and his shoulder goes in here, snaps down like that. Okay, and that will rotate wherever you want it to. Okay, and then we're going to take his wrist. We'll take this, and this will go on here, and that will become his kind of wrist protector, and then his hand will go in here. It should snap in. It doesn't really snap, but I'm going to make sure that I have it correct. There we go. This should be like this. And there's his left hand. Okay? Now we're not done yet though, because we still have his shoulder piece. But as far as this goes, we're done. Okay? So we'll put that aside. And now we're going to work on his shoulder, and that's going to include these two pieces. And we need J18 and 21. We're almost done here. Okay, so we take, it's going to go this way. We want this going together, just kind of slides in like that. Okay, and then this guy facing the proper direction. Okay, basically smooth side out, like that. Okay, and then these go together. Just like that. You might be thinking to yourself, oh no, you left nub marks and there's a big panel line. Don't worry about it. There's a great big piece that's going to go on top of that. Okay? So there's that. Okay? Now, we've got B11, which is this great big guy here. Okay? B11. We need A31, B4, and G7. Okay, so this is B. We need this guy here that just goes on here like this, just like that. And that actually, it felt very loose going in, but it's not coming off, so that's good. Feels like you need glue. G7 is actually a blue piece. It's one of the few blue parts so far. Alright. So, I do want to clean that. Kind of screwed it up with my knife there. That's alright. We can fix it. We have the technology. Alright. So we take this guy, and he's going to go on here. Line up the hole. There we go. Okay, so now we have our shoulder piece. It's going to have this guy go in right under there. Okay, and goes with this fin sitting up like that. Okay, and then our big piece goes over top of everything, just like that. Okay, hides those two panel lines underneath there, and that's done. And so now what do? We take this and we put it on our arm, just like that, and now we've got our shoulder on our arm. And we grab our body. And shove that peg in the hole until it clips. Now, of course, that just came off loose, right? That's okay. Because, just take that off, and we try again. Okay, there we go again. This time, I will try not to slip. It's going to click hard on me, and that's okay. It's a super tight fit, as I said earlier, for the other arm. It didn't click. Why didn't you click? You're supposed to click satisfactorily for me. I'm not happy with that. Well, there you have it, guys. Put them back together. And we are one arm closer to him being done. As I almost drop him. One arm closer to being done. Just like that. One arm very tight, one arm very loose. Not sure why. There are a couple of things I could do. Take the arm apart, take his shoulder apart again, and work on that. I could even add a little bit of paint on the inside of it to make that tight, right? There's a few different things I could do. But right now, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to call it a day. We are done for now. The next step is going to be the other leg, and that's what we're going to do about that. Finish the waist unit. We've got both arms done. Next is going to be his left leg. That guy there. That will be next. So that will probably be done next weekend, as I typically only have time on the weekends to do them. So I want to thank you guys again for watching, and thanks Matthew for the chat. That was pretty cool. That was really cool. And I am happy to help if I can, and give advice if I have any that helps. But like I said, that's going to be it for today. We are done. And so I want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button in the middle, and over here on this side hit the subscribe And head on over to my Twitch channel too, and you can follow me on Twitch, and you can talk to me live just like Matthew did. And ask me questions, ask for advice, give me advice. Definitely welcome to it. So, thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget, head over to my Instagram too, and you can follow me on there, and you can check out the still pictures of all my past builds that I've done. So whenever I'm done, I always upload, 5 or 6, 10 pictures of them or something like that, so you get to see some still shots and whatever, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, so once again, thanks again for watching. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, so I guess that's about it. And we'll see you guys all in the next one.